Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you're enjoying this Vlogmas series. It's, not necessarily all fashion stuff, but we are covering everything it means to be a woman in our 40s or 50s and just getting through these holidays. So thank you again so much for joining me. Today's video is going to be a little bit different and a little bit difficult to make, and pardon me in advance if I get emotional because I've really learned some important lessons and have really been surprised in a lot of really, really wonderful ways. So to start from the beginning, I'm on the floor, so my dog is going to join us quite often. Hello, sweetheart. So to start from the beginning, last night I got a call from my son around 9 o'clock at night, and his apartment had flooded. So my husband and I got in the truck and brought a bunch of bins to go out and see what was going on and see what the damage was. I'll leave some video here of what the apartment looked like when my son first got there. It was absolutely destroyed. The water coming in from the ceiling, and now my son lives in apartments that are off campus. He goes to college and he lives in apartments that are off campus. And he lives in like those quad things. If you're familiar, leave me a comment down below because they can be good and they can be bad, right? But so there's a common kitchen, common area, and then there's 4 rooms, and each room has their own bathroom and all the things. And then each door locks individually, so when each roommate leaves, they can lock their stuff in their room. Cool, so that's what my son did. He was over at my townhouse with his girlfriend for the weekend. They were in a movie, and his roommate started texting him, and he was like, dude, the bathroom wall in my unit is getting wet and I feel like I can hear water dripping in your unit. So my son got out of his movie, went straight over to the apartment, and that is what they walked into. I was really shook at the chaos that was there, and also very impressed with his roommate and how they stepped up and started helping him, his roommate, one of his roommates and his girlfriends stepped up, started helping him pack up his stuff, getting things out of the room, because you can see, you put your foot in the carpet and it was soaked. The whole bed was soaked, and he had all his clean laundry on the bed, not put away, and it was like you could wring it out. It was so wet. So my son immediately called emergency maintenance twice and was told that they were not going to respond, which that is what it is. They weren't going to respond, and more rain was coming. So we emptied the contents out of his unit, and his computer was on a tile but on the floor, and he built this computer himself. Here's a picture of him at 15 building his first computer. So this was a pride and joy for him, this computer. And he's a gamer, he's a computer science major, he spends a lot of time on the computer, and it just was like his pride and joy, and it was completely soaked. His headphones were soaked, everything in the room basically was wet. So we got everything home, he packed his car, we packed our car, he followed us home. And he's here, and we have a fan on his computer trying to see if we can save parts of it, if nothing else. But I have been so impressed with the way he has conducted himself through this whole experience. He was very calm. He didn't get super emotional. He's just kind of dealing with the blows as they come, and kind of it is what it is. And I'm just so proud of him for just kind of embracing the facts of the situation, for lack of a better word, and not kind of getting caught up in what could have been the chaos and emotional chaos that could have really come with this disaster. Now is when it gets tricky. So my son went back out in the morning to get some of the rest of his contents and go to the property manager because of the rain, they were completely dismissive. They didn't send emergency maintenance. So the maintenance or the roofers had come out the next morning, supposedly. We weren't there, we didn't know. So my son went to the property manager's office and was given a business card for the general manager that she was there, but she was in a meeting or training someone, and that my son should call this person when, at a different time. So my son called me, he's like, what do I do? I'm like, well, let's call her. So we three-way called her, and this is when it gets tricky. I was so triggered by this person's response to our situation, and it really struck something in me. Like, I had a visceral reaction to the way this person responded to our situation. It was wild. And I'm going through this cohort right now. I think I told you about it a little bit before. It's called A Year to Live, and we actually got a prompt a week or so ago that was like, think of a situation where you had with a family member where you were angered or frustrated, and how you reacted, what did it trigger, that kind of thing. And it really touched this nerve with me. She was so dismissive, condescending, no empathy whatsoever to our situation, and it triggered something in me. I don't even know, I can't even put it into words for you, where it touched me and why, more importantly, why it triggered me in such a way that it did. But when you get, you feel your ears get hot when you're getting triggered? Does anybody else have that? Do your ears get hot when you get triggered, emotionally about something? Leave me a comment down below. So anyhow, we are on a three-way call, and I'm trying really hard to keep my composure and set a good example for my son while being so completely triggered. So I asked my son to send this person an email outlining all of the phone calls that he's made, all the attempts to contact the property manager, all those things. And I hung up the phone. I was told my son I'd call him later. And I had to sit with myself for a minute and just kind of do my 4-7-8 breathing technique. I'll leave that video up here for you. But boy, oh boy, did I need it in that moment. What was so interesting about it was that it wasn't the devastation, let's say, or it wasn't the flood itself. It was feeling so dismissed and so unimportant by this property manager. And not only for me, but for my son, And it really touched a nerve and a place so deep in me. My motherly instinct wanted to kick in, yet I also wanted to be calm and collected and set a good example. But man, my mama bear wanted to come a-roaring, and I did not. And I'm proud of myself that I kept myself in check. But you know what the greatest part of this whole thing was? The way my son reacted, He wrote that email that I told him to write, and he knocked it out of the park, guys. And I was so full of pride, and the way he reacted and the way he's handled this situation, I am so full of pride and just, I can't even put into words how much of an example he has shown to me of how to deal with things like that, and that he's a man. He's a man, and I've raised a good man, and I'm really just so unbelievably proud of him. And I actually went in and told him that last night, that I'm just, because my kids have had some serious trauma in their life. They lost their father. My son was 15 when his father got diagnosed, and so he's dealt with trauma and loss and devastation and all of that stuff. And for him to go through this situation with such respect and grace, I am beyond words. So I guess the moral or the point of this video today is that, you can find grace under pressure, and you can be shown that grace by your kids. And I'm just so proud, and it touches my heart to see him and to know that he'll be okay, And yeah, he came to me when he needed something, and he came to me for help, and I'm eternally grateful for that, and I always want him to come to me for help. But he's also shown me that he's got this, he's got this. And biggest Christmas gift I could ever receive is just knowing that he's gonna be okay, He's got this. So, on to happier and lighter things. I had unboxed our Sephora stuff and had no audio going, and I was probably not in a very good place to be showing you these things at that time. So these are the two of the giveaways. This was in the little box, and this was in the Premier tin. So this is a cream lip stain in the color, what is the color? Oh, I saw it. English Rose, number 8. English Rose cream lip stain. And this is an eye brightening cream from Sephora. So these will be added to our gift bag. So make sure you're subscribed so you're eligible for the giveaway at the end of Vlogmas. If you've enjoyed this video and if it's touched something in you, like this video, share it with someone you love if you think they'll find it helpful or just enjoy the message. Leave a comment down below of a moment that your child has just, or anyone unexpected has just kind of shown up for you and taught you something. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 10.